Gareth Bale always said he wanted to play golf, but he chose football because it made more money. Phil Neville was a precocious cricketing talent at under-15 level, breaking batting records set by Michael Atherton and being captain of England's under-15 team. But there is one for whom football was always a second priority. And what was the first? Legal battles, smuggling, and extreme violence. Yep, you heard that right. Quincy Promes, known for his pace and trickery on the pitch for clubs such as Ajax and Sevilla, had other skills beyond the pitch that were more controversial. Promes kicked off his journey with Twente back in 2011, turning heads with his skills for 3 solid seasons. He then decided to take his talents to the frosty fields of Russia, joining Spartak Moscow in 2014. In the 2016-17 season, Spartak Moscow clinched the Russian Premier League title, with Promes playing a starring role. He won the Footballer of the Year award in Russia for 2017, and to top it off, he finished the 2017-18 season as the league's top scorer. But every fairy tale has its twists, and in 2018, Promes decided to move to Spain, signing with Sevilla for €20 million. However, the Spanish sun didn't shine as brightly on him as expected. His form slumped, scoring 3 goals in 49 appearances. In 2019, Promes made a return to his roots, joining his boyhood club, Ajax. Suddenly, the magic was back. He was weaving through defences and banging in goals. He scored 16 in 28 games in the 2019-20 season. As a result of his form with Ajax, Promes earned a place in the Netherlands squad for Euro 2020. In a surprising twist in 2021, he packed his bags for a second stint with Spartak Moscow. The sequel turned out to be even better than the original. Promes became Spartak's modern-era top goalscorer. But this return was not a normal transfer. So, it's the summer of 2020. A seemingly ordinary family party is taking place in Abcoude, the Netherlands, until Quincy decides to add a sprinkling of drama. Quincy, after rocking the party with his rap skills, gets into a heated argument with his own cousin. Why? Allegedly, Quincy thinks his cousin stole some cash from their aunt. The night takes a dark turn when Quincy, armed with a knife, confronts his cousin. As the tension escalates, Quincy's cousin takes a stumble and falls on the sidewalk. Quincy has stabbed his cousin. Just as things are about to get even more disturbing, they get separated, and Quincy leaves the party in a hurry. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. Little did Quincy know, his phone had been tapped and his calls were being recorded. The calls from that night spill some jaw-dropping details. On July the 25th, at 1:02 AM, Quincy rings up his dad, still fuming about the cousin showdown. Quincy's dad, trying to play peacemaker, warns him not to land in hot water. Quincy, however, isn't having it, claiming he would have gone all out if his dad hadn't intervened. And that's not the end of it. Quincy's mum jumps on the line and delivers the news that his cousin is on the way to the hospital. Quincy, seemingly unfazed, casually asks where he landed the stabbing blow. His mum nonchalantly responds, "In his leg." Quincy's response? Well, he got lucky then. In messages and calls, Quincy seems oddly proud of his actions, almost painting himself as a vigilante restoring the family's honour. Quincy was released shortly after his detainment, but the investigation was still in full swing. Quincy denied any involvement, claiming to be innocent. But fast forward to November 2021, and Dutch prosecutors drop the bomb. They want Quincy to appear in court. And what's the charge? Attempted murder. The trial date was set for March 30th, 2022, but it got postponed. Now, we jump to October 21st, 2022. A new trial date is set for March 3rd, 2023. Did Quincy show up for the trial? Nope. He decided to hang out in Russia, where extradition isn't a thing with the Netherlands. Sneaky move. The prosecutors weren't holding back, asking for a 2-year prison sentence. But the plot thickened on March 15th, 2023. The trial hit pause. Why? They were questioning the legality of a crucial piece of evidence. Recordings of Quincy talking about the stabbing in a phone call with his dad. The defense argued that it was unethical, claiming the phone tap was based on an unrelated investigation. The attempted murder charge was downgraded to aggravated assault on June 19th, 2023. Quincy was slapped with an 18-month prison sentence. But he wasn't in court for the sentencing, as he remained in Moscow. But the question arises, why were his calls being recorded? For years, law enforcement had their eyes on Quincy, suspecting him of being involved in drug trafficking. Intercepted PGP messages spilled the beans, revealing Quincy's active involvement in not one, but two colossal drug shipments. We're talking a staggering 650 kilos in one and 712 kilos in the other. It's a head-scratcher. A guy who could have been living the high life on the football field chose to dip his toes into the perilous waters of the criminal underworld. The intercepted messages tell tales of Quincy nonchalantly discussing his dubious shipments. The first one, cleverly concealed in bags of salt, sailed smoothly to its destination, but the second was partly seized in Belgium, leaving Quincy counting his losses. The PGP messages provided a lot of detail, showcasing Quincy's active role in the illicit trade. Messages flew back and forth about buy-in fees, container locations, and the nitty-gritty of the operation. What's even more intriguing are Quincy's messages on February the 25th, 2020, where he lamented a half-successful previous berth of shipments. One hit the mark, while the other, featuring bricks adorned with a tiger image, got seized. They even had a catchy codename for this case: Porto. Quincy wasn't merely dabbling, he was deep in the game. Messages like, "My boys are on their way to Antwerp," and "Let's get to work, boys, keep me up to date," paint the picture of a leader in the underworld. Digging deeper into the investigation, it turns out the whispers about Quincy's involvement in the cocaine trade surfaced as early as 2018. Allegedly, he threw €200,000 into a transport operation with well-known smuggler Pete Vortel. The hack of PGP databases worldwide handed prosecutors a treasure trove of evidence against Quincy. Fast forward to the present, Quincy is playing it safe in Russia, steering clear of European soil. He's officially on the hook for a 1.5-year sentence for the altercation with his cousin. Despite the brewing legal tempest, Quincy's focus remains on football and rap, all whilst trying to obtain a Russian passport. The big question hangs in the air. Will he be granted one? It could be his ticket to a less tumultuous future. As the saga unfolds, keep your eyes peeled for the next chapter in the Quincy Promes tale. And hey, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and join us as we unravel more intriguing stories from the world of football. Until next time.